Cheers.
Chris doesn't really like my use of props. He doesn't think it's necessary.
Well, what I thought was that everyone out there may understand what you mean by water, and we say, this is what we mean by water.
Can't be a prop. We're not all as linear as Chris. Sometimes we like a visual illustration. So today's all about fluid. And obviously this week we're talking about how to manage those saboteurs that get in the way of you eating optimally for you, or let's put it simply, stop you snacking. And I'm sure you know, but that sometimes when you feel hungry, it's actually thirst. So Chris, can you give us some stats on how much water we actually need?
Well, that's interesting because it's quite subjective as to how much water we actually need. There are many factors which will affect that. One could be whether you're male or female. And by that I mean generally males on average have more muscle mass than females.
They don't need so much for their brain.
And the more muscle mass you have, the more water your body will be holding. So it could also be down to how muscular you are. So if you're, again, carrying more muscle, you might need more water. How active you are, how much exercise you take part in.
What about weight as well? Maybe if you're carrying extra body fat, would you need more water than someone who's leaner?
That's a tough one because you need water to release in the breakdown of body fat in your body. So you need water to be hydrated. You know, to sometimes lose water. So when you are losing body fat and getting leaner, you do need to actually have quite a bit of water in your diet. And again, that's subjective. I don't want people to think they've got to go out and get the gallons of water you can see now in most health and fitness superstores. It's more about just having a bit more.
So simple things that you can do to just ensuring you have enough water. Now you've already started with your plan, as we hope. So we'd like for you to pop on there how much water you're drinking during the day, or just, you know, make a mental note or a visual note if it helps for you. How much fluid have you drunk? Does that affect your snacking? And simple things, Chris, that people can do to make sure they're drinking more fluids during the day.
During the day, I think we get a little bit self-righteous about having pure water, where it must be, you know, straight from the springs of, you know,
of the soda stream.
It was soda stream. But water is just water and fluid, and that could be whether it's from water, whether it's from tea, even coffee can hydrate you. If you have a weak coffee, that can, a decaf, that can hydrate you as well. Diluted fruit juices, they all count as water. So the first thing is to recognise how much actual liquid you have in your diet. If you have more than 1 or 2 coffees or tea a day, then that's going to have a net negative effect on your hydration levels. That's the first thing. Second of all is figuring out actually how much you're using, how much of that water you're using. So if you're walking or running or exercising, put it down on a piece of paper and put it on a scale of sort of 1 to 3. 1 could be just generally active, 2 very active, 3 vigorous. And vigorous could be a spin session or a hard run. So you're using much more water. But the last one, which people don't really know much about, is let's say you've got a day or a sort of half an hour or an hour of meetings. If you're talking for quite a long period of time, you're losing water vapor and sweat through your mouth. That actually has a net effect again of losing water. So you might think, I've done very little exercise all day, but yeah, I've been talking for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours.
I notice particularly when I'm teaching Pilates classes, towards the end of the hour, I start to get a bit dry. To get a bit. I mean, I do drink, but it's a real consideration actually.
No, it is. You're losing water and heat as you talk. So just pop those down, and if you aren't sure about it, we'll just pop it down and we'll see, and maybe we'll agree or disagree whether or not that'll have an effect on how much water you'd actually need to have.
And I would say actually, because it's all about keeping it simple. You know, if you know the facts, and you know you need to drink more from what you're looking at on your little plans, then consider opportunities that you might just sneak an extra drink in there. So could you swap a caffeinated tea for a herb tea maybe? Could you have a glass of water first thing in the morning? Could you have a glass of water half an hour before you eat your evening meal? Maybe if you're preparing the meal, have a glass of water then. It's finding opportunities to just sneak a little bit more in without making life too complicated or having like a measuring jug. But just trying to sneak extra cups of water in, just as I am doing now whilst doing this video.
Correct. And I'd say a good starting point, rather than saying you have to have 6 to 8 glasses of water, a starting point would be just try to have a little bit more than what you're having right now. That's how to break it down in a nice, simple way. Because if you start to increase your water too much, you know what's going to happen? You're going to be straight onto the loo and then go straight through your body. Yes, you will increase how much you will pass out. I know. You will increase how much you pass water out of your system when you increase the water going in. But if it's too much coming in too quickly, your body can't use that, and you'll just pass it straight out as a waste sort of byproduct. So don't feel you have to have loads of water tomorrow or when your week starts. Just think, okay, today I have 4 glasses of water. Tomorrow I'm going to have maybe 4 with, as Karen said, a couple of little shots of water every now and again, either between cooking meals or if I'm in and out, rushing around, doing other things around the house.
That's it for today. We will be more concise tomorrow, we promise.